26th of June, Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Yeah, this is our second. Oh, here we are. Okay, good morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst, Yeshiva Samanavshi, Yerushalayim, Zoom. This is our second shir, Mr. Brewer, and we're learning the Siyas Kapayim, Siman Kuf Lamed Aleph. Yeah. So pick up again in Siv Gimel. Yeah, Siv Gimel in Kuf Lamed Aleph. Yeah. Mayor or Rabbi Eliezer Tzvi, who would like to do a little reading?
Okay.
Mary, you up to it?
Yeah, okay, I'll try. I know I
Okay.
can always get help. Okay, Gimel. Ein nefilat apayim b'layla. Okay, so we don't do Tahanun at nighttime. Uvelele ashmoret nohagim lipol apnehem. Okay, so let's see. On nights, not sure that ashmoret is guarding.
Ashmor, so those will be special nights. I think we'll see. Let's see. There might be certain nights singled out, like Thursday nights, known as a night which is a mishmor. We'll see. We'll see if the Mishnah explains it in full.
Okay, well, on those nights, it is a practice to fall, okay, to do Tahanun, fall on one's face, okay. Shehu karo layom. Oh, because it's close to daybreak?
Usually, Yom Mishmor, Leili Mishmoras.
Oh, it's not daybreak, it's close to day, so it's done around sunset then, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's close to sunrise, so pretty close to sunrise. Because those would be the night watches. When they would have certain night watches, then they would apparently say the Tahanun. Let's take a look at the Mr. Brewer. That would begin with Tet Zion.
Tet Zion, okay. Let me just find it real quickly. Tet Yud. And this was Dalid, right?
Gimel.
Oh, Gimel. Okay, thank you. Okay, so Ein Nefilat Apayim. Okay, so we don't do Tahanun. The Hatam al pi Kabbalah Ayin B'Veit Yosef. Okay, the reason is accepted by the Beit Yosef. It looks like. Okay.
Yeah, time out be Kabbalah. I mean, Kabbalah means the Kabbalah. Inyanim things which have to do with the more esoteric side of.
Oh, okay. So see the Beit Yosef. Okay. V'lomar hamizmor shel nefilat apayim ein chashash afilu balayla. Okay. So let's see at night. So let's see. This to say the psalm of Tahanun ein chashash. Not so close.
The Mizbar, I think that's what we've been learning. The Hurachum, the Mizbar, Perek Vav. That Ein Chashash. If you say at night, there's no problem with saying that.
Okay. So is this really referring to the Tahanun that we say at the Mincha, though?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, because I mean, I go to an early mincha, but some minchas are 20 minutes before Shkia. So
right. So that's a question. We'll get to the halacha. What if you sometimes you start davening like 5-10 minutes before Shkia and you finish the Chazaras Hashatz, it's after Shkia. You say Tahanun after Shkia or not? That'll be we'll get to that halacha.
That'll be discussed. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so Yud Zion Balayla at night. V'lachein in nimshechat filat mincha ad hal. Oh, guess what? I guess we just got there.
Yeah.
So if we say mincha that goes into night, let's see, shalayla nohagim. Ain no flim al pneim. We do not do Tahanun.
Meaning
Ain,
that's if it went actually into night.
oh,
Right?
into night.
Well, Banish flushes, right? Banish flushes.
Mishmasho ben shalayla nohagim. Oh, okay. So if it's just what this ben shmasho, this the sun is just setting. It's
Right.
just setting. We do say Tahanun.
Right. So that'll probably go to easily 18 minutes or so. So anytime 18, at least a good 18 minutes after the Shkia, you can still say the Tachanun. Probably.
Okay. ובימים שאומרים אבינו מלכנו במנחה, יוכל לדלג אבינו מלכנו כדי ליפול מעוד יום. Okay, so if it's, let's see.
Tanesim, we say, or Sarasvei Tshuva. We say Avinu Malkeinu.
So
Oh,
you see,
right. So we say
see how chashuv it is. You see that's so significant that you even push off the Alvin Malkino to be able to say the Tachanun in its proper time.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, so you have a lidaleg, right, to push you off. Okay. Vinu Malkenu to say Tahanun for the day. Okay. Let's see, are we at Yud Chet?
Yeah, it's into the.
Okay, Shahu Karo. Oh, okay, so it's close to the end, I guess. Okay. Uve'eliyahu Rabba hevi lahakel mechatzot ulaha'an. Okay, so Eliyahu Rabba is Makel. Okay, from Chatzot midday and on.
Chatzot Laila.
That's right. This is the
He's talking about from midnight and on. That he would say that if you davened early, if you would daven Shacharis very early, you would still say Tachanan.
Well, it wouldn't be Shacharis. It would be, however, sometimes you would have say Slichas or something like that, or you have to.
So you're saying if you say Slichas at night, you would still say the Tachanan is part of Slichas?
Yeah, sometimes they had the they start Slichas at Chatzos Laila, right? There's some in them that
Sure.
And so that Tachanun would be included then because it's way after Chatzos.
Okay.
Okay, so Chatzot is midnight. Okay.
Yes.
Rabbi, I have a question.
Yellow.
Years ago, I was saying Kaddish, and in the winter, the timing was such that the only place I could go was at Chabad, and they daven very late at that particular Chabad.
Right.
So I ended up asking a question, and was told that I could daven Shmona Esrei of Mincha up until 15 minutes after Shkia, and Tachanun, I had another 5 minutes.
Right.
But and if I could do that and daven with them, fine. But if they were later than that, which sometimes they were, then I should daven by myself. In other words, I'm in with the minyan, but I'm saying Shmona Esrei and or Tachanun, and they're not saying that. They're saying something else, or they're not saying anything yet.
Right.
And I heard them say Tachanun even as late as Tzeis. How do we understand that?
I don't know. The answer the answer to your question seems to be okay. 15 minutes after Shkia and another 5 minutes to say Tahanun. That seems to be reasonable, but how they could say it could be that there are opinions that it's not Laila until Tzeit Chochavim, right? Up until then, it's Suffolk Yom, Suffolk Laila, and until Tzeit, it's still a suffix. So it could be that they're Mako lenient to say the Tahanun in this situation where it's still Suffolk Yom, Suffolk Laila. But they were Makbi not to say it after Tzeit, so I understood. That's understandable. Then that's Vadai Laila, so then they wouldn't say the Tahanun. So it could be they have an opinion to rely on in that case.
Yeah, you need to, Lou, if it was Chabad, you have to look at Shulchan Aruch Harav to see what they hold on, just in general on davening, because there's the Chabad ties based on Shulchan Aruch Harav.
Right. But there are other Klosenberger Sans, Satmar, many Hasidim they hold of Rabbeinu Tam, the Tzeit Chachamim Rabbeinu Tam, and they'll even on Shabbos, and they'll do malachas up until 72 minutes after Shkia. We don't paskin that way, but for those, if they paskin that way, that's the way they paskin. And they daven mincha all the way up till Rabbeinu Tam.
Yep.
72 minutes after the Shkia.
Wow.
So, yeah. And
But they also went Shabbos much later too, so.
Yeah, they have to play. You can't play the game both ways. You have to you have to keep Shabbos that late as well, for sure.
Right. Same thing with Chabad.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Right. So they definitely would have opinions to rely on in that. But again, if that's not your particular minhag, right? So then it would be should be cautious about relying on that custom. If that's not your particular, if you're from Chabad, if you're Satmar, Rosenberger Sans, Hasidim, so then that's one thing. But if you're not, so you in general you couldn't rely on such an opinion. Okay, that's
Okay, I think we're up to Yud Tet, the Yom, and that was to today, to the daytime. Let's see. V'yeshno agim laharik b'slichot ad nechon hayom. So in some practice that is to extend slichot until
It's Vadayom.
Vadayom, till I guess daybreak, I guess. Okay. V'az ipo apnehem, and then they do Tahanun. Ach, erev Rosh Hashanah lo l'takein minhag zeh. So on erev Rosh Hashanah, this is not, I guess, the accepted mincha, the minhag practice. Sharei ein noflim al pneihem be'erev Rosh Hashanah. For we don't do Tahanun on Erev Rosh Hashanah. That's Magen Avraham.
right. So that's a clear reference to the slichos, right? Those are the slichos that we were
Right.
saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Very good.
Okay. Good. So that brings us to Sif Dalet.
Okay. So it says, Nahagu shelo yipal pneihem lo b'bayit ha'avel.
Excuse me.
Gesund. So it's a tradition not to do Tahanun at the house of an Avel, below b'veit chatan, and not at the house of a chatan. Below, hold it 1 second.
The Beit Knesset.
Yeah, I think I did 2 pages instead of 1. Below B'vei Knesset Biyomila. Oh, and not at a Beit Knesset on Chris, which our shul had yesterday. And below Kashiyesh Sham Chatan, and not where there's a Chatan, I guess.
Bridegroom.
The bridegroom. Okay, the groom, right.
During the first week, during Sheva
Right,
Brachos.
that's
Okay.
right.
Okay, so let's see, the Mishna Berura, I guess. Let's see, we just did Dalit, so we're at Kaf now. Okay, Lo B'Veita Abel. Okay, not in the house of an Abel. Okay, Hainu, Kol Shiva, Ta'am Az Midat Hadin Mitucha Awav. Okay, so this is, as Lauren said, all 7 days. Okay, all Shiva, all of Shiva. Okay, and the reason is that the Midat Hadin of Din Mituchala is what is present on him.
Literally, it means like stretched out over him. It's like it means it's bearing upon him, right? Midas is bearing upon him.
It's bearing upon him. Okay. V'alchein yesh lizaher mil hagabir midat hadin. And so, let's see. And therefore, one should be careful. Let's see. Hagabir about the strength, I guess, of this midat hadin.
Yeah, not to incite.
Okay.
This is something I don't really understand. How is the saying of Tahanun, which seems to be a supplication for mercy, how is that supposed to incite and bring? And that I don't really understand so clearly.
Well, I think it's more that because it's a base oval, the Midas Hadin is already there.
Right.
Okay, and
Right.
which means Hashem is ruling strictly at this point, and we should not be trying, because the Midas Hadin is sitting there, we should not be trying to invoke Midas Arachamim.
Yeah, it's not a time for Rachamim now, and by trying to invoke Rachamim, that itself will cause more din to be present.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, that's also why we don't say it the first part of the night. The first part of the night is when Midas Hadin. After Chatzois Laila, it becomes a little more. It's more Rachamim, right? So you see, this is a theme which is expressed in several different cases.
Right. So that's what it just says. Ukimah ta'am de ein nefilat apayim b'layla. And that's the lush.
Yeah, exactly right. Very good. Very good.
Don't say it at night. Okay.
Right.
Okay, let's see. Va'afilu achar sheyatza mibeito ein tzarich lomar. So even when one leaves his house, it's not required.
Right, when you go home from the base Avel, if you're being Menachem Avel and you daven Mincha and you go home from the base Avel after Mincha, you don't have to say Tach. No, even though you're not at the base Avel anymore, you do not have a chiyuv to say Tachan at that point.
Right. You might think it's only in that place, and if once you leave that place, then it comes back upon you, your original obligation. But no, once you've been exempt, you have an exemption for the whole day, ostensibly.
Okay, so it says the Tahanun mikomo miyad achar tefillah shmona esrei. Okay, the Tahanun at that place is immediately after Shmona Esrei. The Kana'al Bereish Hasiman Avel V'Hurachum. Okay, so I guess it's pointing us to the siman about V'Hurachum. Yomar Achar Kach Uveito. that he does say it after. I'm a little
It says,
confused.
"Ava v'hu rachum yamov akakapu besu." Yesh mekilim b'zeh. Meaning, apparently, the way the Mishnah Berurah is presenting it, you would have to say v'hu rachum afterwards, but there are mekilim that you don't have to say it afterwards.
Oh,
Seemingly.
okay. Okay. V'hinei kol zeh davka b'veit ha'avel ein omrim tachanun shelo lahagbir midat hadin. Okay, I think we said this before, basically.
Right.
Okay, so we don't say.
All applicable in the base of Avil.
Okay, aval kishe ha'avel mipalel b'veit ha'knesset o b'veit acher. Ein hatzibor nigrarin acharav v'omrim tachanun. Okay,
Right,
so
so
what, if he
this is-
davens in the Beit Knesset?
Right, this is all that you don't say Tachanun specifically in the base of Avil. That you don't say Tachanun, right? Below that you shouldn't be Magbir, strengthen the Midas Adin. Aval, however, if the Avil is Mispal Beit Knesset, let's say the Avil is davening in the Beit Knesset, right? And many people, I mean, the accepted minhag custom is that the Avil doesn't leave his house, right? And they have a minion in the house, right? But if it's impossible to get a minion to come to the house, so in fact it's permissible that he can go to Beis Knesset and daven, right?
Okay,
He's not restricted to his house. The reason why the Avil is not supposed to leave his house is there are several reasons. The basic reason is that we don't want the Avil to mix with people. If he's out wandering and walking along the streets, he'll meet people, he'll get into conversations with them, and he'll forget the Avelis that he's supposed to be involved with. So therefore, we don't want him going outside into the public. Because of this reason, there are those that permit the Avil to go out at nighttime, when in the times when there wasn't electricity and people weren't out on the streets. If he would go out in the nighttime when there's no people around, he could go out, in fact, go out outside without concern, according to this reason. But if there's no minion to be had in his house, he's not putter from Tefillah B'tzibor, except of course if he's an oinei, that's another story. But after the fact that after the burial, he's no longer an oinei, and he can in fact leave his house if necessary. So if he does go to that Beit Knesset, so the tzibor is not going to be drawn, Gurin, Akrav, and they say Tachanun, right? So if the Avil goes to the Beit Knesset, the tzibor doesn't follow after him, and the tzibor says Tachanun. Aval Mikol Makom Avil Atzma Lo Omer. The Avil himself does not say the Tachanun.
okay. Let's see. Okay.
Let's see.
It's 10:30, I think.
Okay, could you let's make a mark, and we'll have to pick up with this tomorrow. Okay. Everyone have a good day, and we'll see you all tomorrow, Mitzvah Shem.
Have a good day.
Very good.
You too.
Be well.
Everyone well.